was adopted when I was 3 years of age. And prior to my adoption, I'd been in about 6 or 7 different foster homes in the first 2.5 years of my life. I also was in and out of the hospital because I was quite sick as a small child. Um, and at one point, I was in the hospital with what they said was acute failure to thrive. So I wasn't really eating any food or drinking milk or anything like that. And so, because of the health concerns and the fact that I was in and out of the hospital, social services was contacted. And so we had a social worker that would come to the house and spend some time with us. And then it ended up that myself and my 2 older brothers would be taken out of that home and put into a foster home. We would spend anywhere from a couple days to a week or so in this foster home. And then we returned home to our mom. In that first 2.5 years, we also moved from basement suite to apartments. We lived in about 9 or so different places in that 2.5 years. And we also had a lot of different social workers. As is the case now, there was still quite a high turnover for social workers at that point. And so I think that part made it hard because being able to keep up with the file, being able to understand really what was going on for our family wasn't necessarily the easiest because we were constantly moving, and then they would kind of track us down, and a social worker would come into the home and apprehend us and put us into a foster home. They say that the first 2.5 to 5 years of your life can really play a big role on how you'll feel and experience things going forward in life. And so for the first 2.5 to 3 years of my life, it was spent in environments that were filled with drugs and alcohol and violence. And it was also filled with constant movement. There was no consistency on where we were living, what was happening day to day. And so that really played a big role into me having attachment disorder. Because how do I become attached to a family if that family dynamic is constantly changing? If this week, this family, I'm with them and they're my mom and dad, and then the next week I have another family that I'm with, and then I'm back home with my bio family. And so it was really easy at a young age to feel that people wouldn't stick around. And I think that later on led to me feeling that that was because of something I did. Looking back, it would make sense that I would think that because I was the one constant in all those situations. And so I figured, well, if somebody wanted me and I was good enough, one of those families would have kept me. And so there was this little voice that would be in my head for a number of years, and it would say that I wasn't good enough and nobody wanted me. So again, that is from just seeing experiences that were happening to me and trying to make sense of them and not have the right information.